Hello? Hello? Is anyone listening up in here? Yeah, good thing I got honey in my cabinet, cause New York City ain't so sweet to the disabled. New York City, tell me how disabled people and low-income people are supposed to have a right to housing if you keep hearing things like this.
Okay, sorry, we're not accepting the vouchers right now.
Welcome to my new web series called Lease Rejected, in which I expose disability discrimination in New York City. 60% of reports need to hard housing has to do with disability discrimination. And as you know, New York City is in a housing crisis, and discriminatory landlords and real estate agents add on to that housing crisis by refusing to rent to people with disabilities and people who are low income. And because New York City does not do its job to enact the Fair Housing Act, real estate agents and landlords are making it loud and clear that they do not want people who are low income or disabled in their housing markets. Like, this is literally giving Jim Crow. Sometimes I wonder, am I finding a Krabby Patty formula, or am I looking for housing? I honestly don't know the difference. The difficulties are the same. And I know what a lot of people are going to say. Why don't you just find landlords that take Section 8? And it's like, why didn't I connect those dots? Maybe because most of the Section 8 apartments are inaccessible, number one, and number two, landlords are discriminatory against people with disabilities. For example, this is a conversation I had with the landlord. He heard the way that I talked and he hung up the phone. I called him back to ask about the apartment, and he told me that the apartment was rented the day before. So I had a family member contact him to see if the apartment was still open, and to my dismay, it was. Here's that conversation. Yes, from affordablehousing.com.
Yes, but it's rented, ma'am. That's why I didn't want to bother you. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's rented now.
Yes.
Okay, I just think you're being discriminatory because all of a sudden it's rented now, right?
No, it's being rented since yesterday, so I didn't have chance to take it out, so I apologize for inconvenience.
We are getting to a point where real estate agents and landlords are actively asking potential tenants if they have a voucher just to ignore them. Out of 35, I want you to hear this, 35 landlords and real estate agents that I contacted, they ghosted me upon mention of a voucher. And I know they think that they're getting ahead by saying, well, I technically didn't discriminate against her because I didn't respond, but you did. Because when I did comparative analysis test, which for the cool people, that's just catfishing. When I did comparative analysis test, they were more willing to schedule a viewing with a potential tenant with a white name, lower credit score, and the same salary as me. Ain't that a damn shame? I dealt with housing insecurity for most of my life and had to rely on school housing to prevent homelessness. New York City, borough presidents, and the governor of New York. How are disabled people supposed to prevent homelessness if we are facing this amount of discrimination in the housing market? We complain that there's homeless people on the streets. We talk about how there are all of these resources for the disabled, but yet we are okay with the housing eugenics that is going on in New York City right now. And I have been talking amongst the disabled community who are low income and housing tax vouchers, and it is a shame of all the things that they have to go through and still cannot get stable housing. They have the resources, they have the rights, but no one is enacting them. Stay tuned for part 2 because this issue can be fixed, and there are loopholes around this issue.